Welcome to another introduction of a sentai parody. And two things before we start off. First thing is shout out to Thunderyo. I put his profile picture right before you. Apologies, it doesn't have the best pixel quality, but you'll definitely be able to find this artist in DeviantArt. And yeah, he's one of my favorite sentai artists. And second of all, got a camera this time to start recording this, and hopefully this definitely enhances the resolution, I believe the term is, for the video. So yeah, let's get started. So yeah, I present you guys with this sentai. So the original artist called it something like Kami Sentai, Tenshinger, but for my own adaptation, I'm gonna rename it to Guardian Sentai Tenshinger, and it's to do with like mystical creatures as well as guardians as well, and about protecting planets and galaxies as well. And yeah, so they come in each of the each of the Rangers have their own planet to protect originally. These were the previous mentors. The previous Rangers had their own planets to protect, but the newer Rangers, they are from the planet Earth. And yeah, they get essentially taught by the mentors to fight off the new threat that has been presented recently in Earth. And the reason why, essentially, the current threat of an evil organization, the previous mentors had battled them before. However, in doing so, after many years, they need to find new groups and new predecessors, I think it's called, to carry on the legacy and continue the fight. I won't get into the reason why the mentors had to essentially give on the powers instead of being continue to fight essentially. That will be addressed more later on in the series. Also, furthermore, I do want to take this time to appreciate Thunderyo's work on these suits. It definitely reminds me of the Goseija suits or the Power Ranger Super Mega Force suits, and it gives you more of this high-powered angel type motif essentially. For a fact, these are not the type of guys you wanna mess around with in a battle, since they have all these supernatural mystical powers. So yeah, this is something that when I first saw these suits, I was really drawn into it essentially. And when I was thinking about making sentai parodies for different artists, these suits really stuck out to me. And yeah, they look powerful, from how the head, if you can see from the head, they represent each of their own motifs, as well as they have their own unique symbols in the chest. And yet it all comes down together to form this majestical sentai suits essentially. So yeah, so props to Thunderyo for designing these suits magnificently. So to start things off, here we have our leader of the sentai group, Tenshinger, and he is the youngest member of the group. However, of the group, he has the most fiery personality, and hence his motif is based on the fire motif. And in terms of the mythical creatures, his motif is the feathered dragon. And yeah, one of his drawbacks, even though he's the leader of the sentai and can definitely motivate his group, his drawback is, even though he's the youngest, the fact that he's the youngest member will essentially makes him more young, naive essentially, which is associated with being young. However, this is something he has to. This is one of his own personal weakness that he has to, overcome, in order to essentially optimize the teamwork ability of this sentai group. And as for the second in command of Tenshinger, here is Tenshin Blue, the agile warrior, and he, even during the most stressful of situation, he is the most dead calm and can come up with more strategic plan in order to defeat the enemy. And so yeah, he's a very valuable member of the team. However, being the most strategic of the group, one of his drawback is that he can easily have a bit of an ego, and this makes him more stubborn and sometimes thinking his plan is always correct and always right. And it's hard for him to agree with others when they don't necessarily agree with his strategic of his planning in battle. The motif of Tenshin Blue is essentially his motif is angel, and his elemental motif is cloud. Essentially has the power of clouds. And presenting you the powerhouse of the group, Tenshin Green. So, as you know, he is physically the most strongest out of the group, and yeah, you might notice that the face is rather similar to another group of Sentai I might mention. So yeah, perhaps it could be the same actor from the previous Sentai group to this Sentai group. Also to mention with this character, even though he's physically the most strongest out of the group, one thing he does lack is social awareness and lack of emotional awareness. Like, he doesn't know if he's offending anyone or anything like that, and sometimes that may or may not break the team essentially. As for Tenshin Green, his mystical creature motif is Pegasus, and his elemental motif is rock and earth. And as you see, the next member is Tenshin Yellow, and he's the lightning fast warrior. So yeah, he got superhuman speed, and as one of his strengths in the group is that he is more equipped with handling technology. He's more of the tech savvy of the guy. However, he can be the most. The thing is, out of all the group, one of the disadvantages Tenshin Yellow has is that he can easily be scared, and his fear is something that he needs to conquer in order to be an effective member of the group. He is pretty effective, however, essentially, fear is one of his personal weaknesses that he needs to work on in order to optimize the team workability of Tenshinger. And perhaps you might have guessed by the intro of Tenshin Yellow, his motif is lightning, and his mystical creature motif is a griffin. And last but not least, here we have Tenshin Pink, and she is more of the she essentially is the moral one out of the group. She's always there if you need emotional support, and her elemental motif is wind, and her mystical motif is a phoenix. And out of the Tenshinger group, she can be the most sensitive at times. However, this is something, again, like everyone else, she works on as she goes through her own journey. And here is one of the initial side characters. So this side character, she's always, essentially everyone in the initial Tenshinger group, everyone knows each other and everyone, they're essentially one big friend group, and she's essentially one of the friend group of the Tenshingers. I won't say much about her because I do feel like if I do talk much about her, this might potentially be a spoiler to my adoption of Tenshinger. So yeah, for now we'll leave her as a mystery character. And the other side character, as you can see, he's essentially the, even though he is a part of the friendship group of Tenshinger, he essentially hasn't seen the group for a long time. However, he finally reunites with the Tenshinger group, and he is essentially, his role is to command the Tenshinger base and making sure everything is going fine in the technical side of things. So yeah, I'll end the video here, and in the part 2 of the introduction of Tenshinger, I will talk about their side weapons, the concept of Tenshinger, as well as the mentors that I've mentioned, and talk about each of the mentors as individual. So yeah, I'll see you guys on the next episode. And before I end the video, this is a message to the artist Thunderyo. So essentially, I think I commented on one of his work saying if I can essentially use his artwork for my animation. He agreed. However, I just want to double check with him if he's still okay with me using his artwork, because obviously this is his artwork and I will need his permission for that. And Thunderyo, if you're okay with it, I'll be happy to continue on with the series. I started episode, I've started the initial animation. However, I'm still a bit unsure whether you're still okay with me using your artwork. So yeah, I'll hopefully get a reply from you soon. And if not, I'll just create my own, so that's fine as well. So yeah, also, yeah, again, you're my favorite artist, and yeah, keep up with, I was going to say keep up with the good work, but I know you're taking a rest, so yeah, those of you guys who are Sentai fans and are very interested in seeing original Sentai work, please do go and check out my friend Thunderyo. He creates many, like I think he has over 50 individual Sentai, his own, sorry, he has essentially 50 individual Sentai teams, I think over 50 as well. So yeah, definitely check him out if you're interested, and yeah,